What's up, guys? You're watching DIY Dozer, and on today's episode I'm going to be showing you how to install a curved LED light bar in this 2005 H3 Hummer. Stick around, I'll show you the tools that are needed and how to get the job done. What we have here is, I believe, a 52-inch LED light bar with a wiring harness which goes to the battery, as well as a switch, and we have brackets specific to an H3 Hummer. The tools required for installation of this job are going to include, but not be limited to, a flashlight, some crimpers, wire strippers. I have a drill here with a Phillips head adapter, or you could put a Phillips head screwdriver in here. A 7/16 socket on a ratchet, panel popping tool, 2 butt connectors, a razor knife, and some electrical tape. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop the hood. We're going to get in here and run our harness into the cabin of the vehicle. There's already several wires ran through the same location, which is through a grommet underneath the firewall. I'll show you what it looks like inside. But we're going to run this power wire for this switch into the car the same way, right through that same grommet, same hole. No new holes. We'll share the grommet and the insulation there. So let's get this in here. I'll show you how to do it. This is on the driver's side at the firewall. There's a brake booster or master cylinder, reservoir, whatever. If you get down in here in this corner, you see there's a grommet. You see there's some wires that are going into that grommet. We're just going to share that same hole there. That will come around inside here. If you look up, there we go. We got wires coming through that rubber grommet there. We are going to share that rubber grommet. Alright, so y'all can see what's going on. I've taken a, we'll call it a snake wire. Took a wire there. I pushed this wire through right here, and once inside the engine bay, I grabbed hold of the harness for the button, the switch that we're going to mount inside the car. Electrical taped it up, and then I pulled it back through. That way I can get it all the way through without a whole lot of effort. So it's just taped up. I'm going to untape this, and then I could go ahead and route that where it needs to go. And this is what the other side looks like. There we go. Alright, we are in the driver's floorboard area here. This is our switch that's going for the light bar. I'm going to take this. It has some adhesive on the back. I'm pretty much going to stick it right up there underneath the edge of that dashboard. That's where the customer requested it. So we got to clean off that surface right there real good with some alcohol. Make sure this sticks good. Plug this connector in with that connector and tidy up our wires underneath the dash. There we are, with our wires running up. There it is. That's our harness, zip tied up to pre-existing harnesses. Wires out of the way. A lot of these other wires were already here for other electronics. It's not really my concern for this one. There's our little button. There's a base knob on the other side, which is why he asked for it to go on the left side. Alright, now that we've finally got our wiring done from inside the engine bay into the cabin compartment of the vehicle, it's time to get on with mounting our light bar on the roof. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Alright, so here we are at the driver's side window, door, excuse me. First thing we're going to do is we're going to pull this weather stripping back, just like that. And next thing we're going to do is get in here real tight and have a look at these screws. We have a Phillips head screw right there, and we have another one down there. If we back up a little bit, this plastic panel right here pops out after you remove those screws. We're going to be running our wires underneath this, and we're also going to be throwing more self-tappers into this panel to hold the brackets on both sides. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to pry this cover up right here. It just pops right off. I'm going to go ahead and do that. As you can see here, I have my trusty snake wire ran through. It is from underneath this cover here, runs through that hole. The hole runs through here. There's a little wall right in here, so you got to stick to this side, and it comes right through here. It comes out right there. So what I'll do is I'm going to tape this wire to this wire like that and pull it back through. Now we're going to go ahead and make our connections to our light bar so I can get this wire tidied up. So I'm going to go ahead and set the light bar up there and make my two connections. Alright, so now that I've got the wire connected, it is also sealed up with some heat shrink and electrical tape, as you just saw me do. I'm going to pop this cover back on here. I'm going to put these two screws back in, and then we're going to get our brackets centered out where we want them at. We're going to mark them, come back and drill some holes, and get these brackets put on. This is a quick little test fit of the bracket. I like it. It's only got one screw in it at the moment. Weather stripping is back on. Door is shut. It doesn't look like there's any interference with it. So we're going to roll with this. I'm going to go ahead and shoot these two screws in there. I'm going to utilize the first screw location that I had at the bottom of the bracket. The other screw that I'm putting in is a bigger screw. It is a self-tapper. With the brackets completely installed, we can reinstall our weather stripping and seal everything up, close the door, and we can go ahead and fit these brackets to the light bar. Okay, here on the roof I have laid out the Allen head screw that comes with this particular kit. There's a washer here, a lock washer in the back, and this is our little also a form of lock washer for the end of the light bar here. So what we're going to do is actually we're going to slide that washer on the screw first, and then we're going to slide this washer on top of that. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to sit that up like that. We'll drop that on there. Then I'm going to come back and drop this on there. And then we're going to run this through this hole. Like that. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this little guy here. And it's going to go on the back side. Like that. That's going to hold everything in place. So now we got to get the light bar slid over here. And I'll get that started. I got to set this phone down and I'll let the camera take over. Here's the light bar, tightened up, mounted, level. I'll be testing here in just a minute once I get all my wires underneath the hood buttoned up. So there is a stock grounding location that is inside the driver's side fender well right there, just behind the battery. You see the batteries right here. And there's your stock ground strap running there. And there is a couple other wires already tied into that in effort to keep the battery terminals from being overloaded with a bunch of wires, because you got stereo stuff. There's already some multiple wires going to that. And then you have, this one looks relatively clean, but I'm going to go ahead and throw my ground right there on that bolt also with the rest of those, and then I'll run the power wire right here. I'm going to go ahead and pop this cover right here back on. Make sure that my wires are tidied up a little bit in here. We're going to call this a day. Here it is, testing it out. Looks good. Thank you guys for watching my channel. If you like the content in the video, or if it helped you out, be sure to click that like button and subscribe for future notifications on more content that's being uploaded. If you have a question or a comment, drop that down below and I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. See you guys on the next video.